ॐ जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः. Sri Ramakrishna's visit to Vidyasagar. Master is taking up the idea of Brahman, the absolute existence, in which the whole universe with all beings appear and disappear, so that in which all this, the universe appears with all beings and disappears. Into it dissolves back into the absolute, again appears. Millions of universes appear and disappear, but the infinite eternal existence, the ocean of consciousness, the Satchidananda Sagara, will remain unaffected as it is. It is ocean of bliss, peace, love, absolute. It remains unchanged. Anything happening will remain, it will remain unchanged. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, Brahman is beyond Vidya and Avidya, knowledge and ignorance, and it is beyond Maya. We have discussed about it yesterday. The illusion of duality. The world consists of the illusory duality of knowledge and ignorance. The world consists of illusory duality of knowledge and ignorance. There is neither knowledge nor ignorance. It is illusory duality. There are two terms that are used in English. One is the delusion, and another is illusion. Delusion is what the object is there and I see it otherwise, is delusion. In night when I go out, I see a tree stump. Tree has been cut down and a stump is standing. I mistake it for a person standing there. It is just a stump of tree, and I take it to be some person. A thief sees a police standing there. A lover sees his paramour standing there. And whatever, it is a delusion. It is not whatever I am thinking, it is my error. But when I see illusion means it is not my fault or my error. In my observation there is no mistake. For example, mirage. In desert, while going, we see water. In our roads, in summer you can see, the whole road looks like wet road. We are driving and you can see the nameplate reversed and reflecting in that water. But there is no water at all. The air, hot air, expanding and rising up looks like a water there. I am seeing correctly, but that is appearing otherwise. When object is appearing otherwise by its own, some other force, and my seeing correct, I call it illusion. It is this Brahman is appearing as world, God is appearing as world for me. This is Maya, illusion. There is no error in my seeing, but it is cosmic illusion, Maya. Every jiva is affected by it. It is appearing like that. Why? Because you are identified with the body. Through body and mind, God looks like this world. Till you enter into superconscious state, realize God and come down. So, Brahman, Ramakrishna's conversation. The world consists of illusory duality. There is no duality of knowledge and ignorance. It contains knowledge and devotion, and also attachment to woman and gold, righteousness, unrighteousness, good and evil. But Brahman is unaffected by these. Can a thing be present in an entity and still the entity gets unaffected by its presence or absence? In common world of our life, what do we see? Space. In space, millions of electromagnetic waves of mobile are going. Every mobile is conversing through electromagnetic waves. So many TV waves, television waves, military signals are going, but space remains unaffected. Air carries smell, good and bad, but air remains unaffected. It remains as it is. Fire cannot burn space. Space has given room for fire to exist, water to exist. It exists in space, but water wets everything except space. Fire burns everything except space. Space remains unaffected. Similarly, in Brahman, all these dualities appear and disappear, but it remains unaffected. Another rough means not exactly, but similar example is mirror. In mirror you see all reflection. Each person comes and sees its face and goes away. But mirror remains unaffected to the extent there won't be a mark even such a person came and went. Like space. And the space is given example for Holy Mother. Akashamiva nirlipta. Nirlipta. Akashamiva nirlepam. So it is nirlepa. You cannot anoint it. So, how beautifully Sri Ramakrishna is bringing the concept of Brahman, the absolute existence. You see, and we are all that, and Sri Ramakrishna is that. We are one with it, and the moment we come to know we are Brahman, we won't exist anymore. The difference between our knowing we are Brahman and Ramakrishna knowing he is Brahman is that when we know we are Brahman, 21 days the body will remain and fall off in Nirvikalpa. You become one with river has entered into ocean, it cannot come back again. It has no independent identity anymore. But when we come to Sri Ramakrishna, after realizing God, after realizing Brahman, after knowing that he is Brahman, still he comes back. He will have the personal aspect of God and the impersonal aspect of God. Both are eternal. World is eternal, but constantly changing. It undergoes the Srishti Sthiti Pralaya. And when the Srishti is there, then also it is constantly changing. It is a constantly changing flux, never standing. Every atom is vibrating at very high speed. You see the electronic configuration, how it is moving. Every atom, it looks like solid, immobile thing, but high activity is going on in every object. Unimaginable dimensions. The whole universe is expanding. It goes to the optimum, again starts shrinking back. Just like we wake up and sleep. We take birth, grow to our optimum, again start shrinking to old age, and then go back from this to the source from whence we came. So this cyclic movement is going on eternally within the jiva, within the universe. Everywhere we see this. But once you enter into the absolute, no jiva comes out. But God, who is pervading this universe, when He dissolves with the universe, He comes back with the universe. It contains knowledge and devotion on one side, you see. The knowledge and devotion. The positive aspect. Knowledge of God and devotion to God. The heart filled with love for God is devotion. The intellect filled with the presence and knowledge of God is jnana, knowledge. Jnana and bhakti, knowledge this world contains. Can you see? You have to log in. You have to cultivate. It is there. It is within you, within every jiva. Love and knowledge. That knowledge is covered by ignorance. That you remove the ignorance, the knowledge shines forth. Knowledge is not created. It is eternally there. Love is eternally there. It is manifestation of Atman, love. As long as Atman is there, love is there. It is not created. It is open to flow out. All this whole universe is created. But knowledge and love are not created. In creation they do not appear. In whole the 24 cosmic principles with which the universe is made, Pancha Jnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Prana, Buddhi, Manas, all this doesn't contain love and knowledge. So love, knowledge, time also. Time doesn't belong to creation. Appears with creation, disappears with creation. But love remains after the dissolution of the creation. Knowledge remains. Sharada remains after the creation and also. Because next creation has to come with that knowledge. How the universe dissolved, what were the states of the jiva, how universe was there at the time of death, that knowledge remains. You may sleep off and enter into deep sleep, sushupti. When you are in sushupti, your knowledge, you don't see any knowledge. You don't have any knowledge. Knowledge is not lupta. It still remains there. When you wake up again, it manifests. What all you have learnt is from the birth time, calling cow as cow, crow as crow, mother's kawa, kutta, and all that. From that time, what all you have learned till today, all knowledge that you have gained, will remain when you enter into deep sleep. You don't see it, you don't perceive it. That doesn't mean it is not there. It is there, but it comes back again. When you stepped and you were not there, Still the knowledge remained. You were not there when you were in this sleep. Your love remained. These two entities. On one side, Ramakrishna is telling, it contains knowledge and devotion, because devotion is pure attachment, deep attachment of the soul to the God. Soul and God, the Jivatman and Paramatman, the deep attachment, inseparable attachment, inseparability of Jiva and Ishvara is devotion. So it doesn't get extinguished, it gets fulfillment. Now we have some knowledge of God. It is not going to get extinguished, it is going to get fulfillment by realizing God. So this realization is uncovering the knowledge which is hidden within you. Love of God is opening up your heart for the love to flow out. It is there, ocean of love is there within. It has to manifest. So, on one side, it contains knowledge and devotion, and also on the other side, attachment to woman and gold. Attachment to woman and gold. Enjoyments, physical enjoyments and possession. Two things every jiva is running after. I want happiness, I want happiness. So, attachment to pleasures of life, pleasures of body, pleasures of intellect, pleasures of mind. When I read a poetry, when I listen to a song, when I play, everything is comes under kamini. All types of desires that a man can exhibit. I want to eat masala dosa. All comes under kamini. And I possess, what all I possess, knowledge, intellect, skill, power, my car, fridge, all property, movable and immovable, all that, including body, mind, what all I possess comes under kanchana, kamini kanchana. So, you must clearly know this body belongs to God. One day I have to leave and go everything. I cannot carry anything, including this body I have to leave and go. How can I say it is mine? Mine is a great illusion and also delusion, both together. So this I call not only mine, I have no relationship with this body, but I call I am this. What a great ajnana you see, unimaginable dimension to call myself this body, perishable body, and the imperishable Atman that I am, identifying with the perishable body. How mean it is, you see. So, on one side, knowledge and devotion, which belongs to the Vidyamaya, and on the other, the attachment to, because this is process of involution, that is process of evolution. Two cyclic movements are always there. Like in malls and airport and all that, we see escalator. There are two types of escalator. One is going up and one is coming down. They move simultaneously. Person who can go down, and some are going up, some are coming down. So one is evolution, one is involution. So Vidyamaya is taking the jiva upward towards eternal freedom, and Avidyamaya is bringing down jiva into involution, into eternal bondage and suffering. So, attachment to woman and gold is, Krishna says, Narakasya Dwara, the three entities, Kama, Krodhascha, Lobhascha. Kama, Krodha and Lobha are the three doors to hell. What a beautiful expression you see and explanation. Every soul will realize this one day or other and give up all that belongs to this world and offer itself unconditionally at the feet of God. One life or the other, one day or other, every soul, every jiva that has come into existence, whether it is an ant or an elephant, dinosaurus or asura, it will offer itself. And that offering can happen only through human body. It has to wait till it exhausts its karmic load and comes back again to human life, getting 91 marks. So, attachment to woman and gold, see the difference. One is involutory process, the tree becoming seed in the involution. Tree has got involved into seed. Again, seed becoming tree is evolution. We are entering back into the nature. From nature we go back to the source. From source we enter into nature. How do we come? By the will of God. God wills and a spark shoots forth from the absolute and enters into relative and says I, opens its eye. It was ocean of knowledge, ocean of love, ocean of bliss. It has suddenly becomes the jiva, the Ananta Satchidananda, a drop of, a spark of it has becomes Mamaivamsho Jiva Loki, becomes immediately. The moment it enters into the realm of matter, it says I and separates from the rest of the universe. The jiva appears. And next he holds on to something like drowning man holding on to grass. He holds on to Jnanendriya, Karmendriya and Buddhi Manas. Immediately. The Jnana is outer Jnana. He has got Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. The ego shoots forth. The Prakriti and Chaitanya come together, immediately ego, I comes. It neither belongs to Prakriti nor belongs to the self, the Chaitanya, but it I comes. This I is the main culprit who makes all the history and story. So there is the two opposites. One is evolution, one is evolution. The qualities of evolution, qualities of involution. One is woman and gold, jnana and bhakti. Righteousness and unrighteousness, that is dharma and adharma. Living according to the laws of nature is dharma, and denying or transgressing the law of nature is unrighteousness. Satyam vada, dharmanchara, all these belong to the righteousness, law of nature. Kolabeda, Kalabeda, all that is dharma. Going against it is a dharma. Good and evil. Actually, Evil is not a opposite word of good. There is good and bad opposite to each other. But commonly we use the term evil. Evil is not a product of nature again, like time, like ego. Ego appears when Chaitanya and Prakriti come together, ego shoots forth. Like that, it is a sudden manifestation. Similarly, evil is independent of good and bad. There are good people, there are bad people, there are evil people. That evil, where from it comes? It doesn't come from, because when one becomes two, there is positive and negative. Positive is good, negative is bad. But where from this evil came? When the separation of good and bad is there, just like ego shoots from the joining of Prakriti and Chaitanya, ego shoots forth. Like that, the separation of good and bad, from that evil comes out. Evil is demonical. For no reason, destroy. We see in unfair wars, so good, bad and evil. But Brahman is unattached to these. Brahman is not affected. Anything can happen, and the more you move towards your spiritual existence, away from this bodily existence, in bodily existence you will experience so many things, good, bad, suffering, joys, pleasures, pains, all these dualities you experience. And as you go towards your spiritual existence, you become calm, unaffected by the dualities of the world. You become independent of the dualities of world. Good also doesn't matter, bad also doesn't matter. While coming today in vehicle, somewhere I saw a old lady, must be in her post-80s. She has become stark mad. She is walking in the street with a torn bag in the hand, not shabby. She belongs to some house, not like beggar, but has a bag. She is doing like this and going. She is putting out, nobody is there in the street. She is showing her hand like this and going. Continuously cursing someone. Her face has become red and this one. Then I saw what could be the man's state, how to change his soul. Except prayers for that soul, I did not have anything. Just told Thakur, Mother, help them, I love them. Who goes to them? Who loves them? Who takes care of them? So I could pray only that much, but from heart of heart, I love them. They need me more than anyone. They need the upliftment. They need the consolation. Burning hearts. What they might have experienced in their life, that they have become stark mad in the street, like King Lear of Shakespeare. Last he dies with the dead body of his daughter, Cordelia. He has become stark mad. The situations make them. And how they, I ask, always don't go against dharma and truly dedicate for higher life something and feel compassion for the suffering beings. Whatever you can do, whatever you can help. So, a dog in the street which is unable to bear the suffering of the bodily, the whole skin has fallen down. In Bangalore I saw. I felt great compassion. If I was not in a running vehicle, I could have at least given some water in it. It is dying out of thirst and hunger. So, here where your sainthood is tested, do you feel love for them? Do you feel compassion for them? Then God will feel love for you. God loves you. God feels compassionate for you. God gives His vision. I am here, my child. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.